Here's what we're talking about on our lineup today. Here on the Now, companies around the world are racing to develop a coronavirus vaccine. We're going to take you inside a lab that thinks they may have done it. And we always hear about the need for blood donations. We're going to introduce you to a group you likely don't think about who especially needs it. And outlet stores are a thing that you can find online now as well. What you need to watch for with these deals to make sure you're really saving money.
Thank you, Chris. I'm Amanda Starrentino, and you're watching the Now Indy. A Madison County blaze has left a family without much more than the clothes on their backs. The family of four watched their home burn to the ground and damaged at least 3 other nearby homes in the process. The Summer Lake community sits at the corners of Hamilton, Hancock, and Madison County. Some residents are concerned that the closest first responders are not called. As RTV6's Troy Washington shows us, the fire has brought attention to an emergency response issue that leaders are now working to address.
It's a Valentine's night the Simons family will always remember for a reason flames won't let them forget.
It's horrifying to watch your house burn down and know that there's no one putting water on it. There's no one there to help in the immediacy.
Both cars burned, a 2-story home reduced to soot and ash. Even the neighbor's home felt the fury of the blaze.
If we were snatching babies out of cribs, this could have been a very different outcome.
The family of 4 made it out in their pajamas, without their coats, barefoot, standing in the snow. They say they called 911 at 12:08 a.m.
I was transferred 3 times.
Erin Simons claims at one point she ended up disconnected from dispatch. And in her words, though they were kind, the process was chaotic. And there was a lot of confusion over who was supposed to respond.
She called, and she had to stay outside and watch her entire life burn.
Instead of standing around, neighbors watching started calling 911. Many of them still don't understand the holdup.
We need to straighten out what it's going to take to protect 600 homes, plus, 300 new homes being built, 400 new homes being built, whatever it is, so this doesn't happen again.
As the area grows and more neighborhoods like this one are built, some neighbors say that changes need to be made to make them feel safer when emergencies do happen.
The growth has been really exciting, but it's troubling now, that we've been directly impacted by the emergency services not being able to keep up with that pace.
According to Madison County, the call that initiated response came in at 12:14. Since Green Township has a contract with Vernon Township in Hancock for emergency services, the call was transferred to them.
There's just got to be a better coordination of emergency services.
By the time firefighters showed up from Fortville, there was nothing to save. The Simons family wants their loss to serve as a lesson to make sure their neighbors never feel their pain. Working for you in Madison County, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And Vernon Township is looking into how they can improve. They acknowledge there is an issue. Meanwhile, in Green Township, leaders are also discussing possible ways to improve, but they tell us the community should consider incorporating and building its own fire station. Kevin.
Searching for some sunshine. I see a brighter sky to the west there. You're looking on campus down in Bloomington. Lots of clouds today, but some peaks at the sun probably just before sunset, especially in the western third of the state. Let's go shopping around. It's cooler everywhere than 24 hours ago. Bloomington at 41 and near the warm spot. Lots of clouds around. Kokomo 36 with some sun breaking through. This has been the difference maker, changing the wind direction, and that'll drop temperatures 10 to 15 degrees. Couple of sprinkles exiting the southern portion of the state. You see the movement from northwest to southeast. That will bring in drier air and ensure that our skies begin to clear tonight and we have some sunshine tomorrow. These are very light sprinkles. Some of these may not even be reaching the ground. I just kind of point that out. Through the evening hours between now and 11, clouds begin to break up. Temperature will drop to 31. We'll land tomorrow morning in the lower 20s from Lafayette through Peru, Muncie, 23 in Indy. Temperatures only slightly warmer to the south. That is not the coldest temperature in my forecast. That will be unveiled when we come back.
Today, President Trump is commuting the 14-year prison sentence of former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. The Democrat had been convicted of political corruption in 2011, and today the president said that the 8 years that he served is a, quote, long time. President also issuing a pardon for the former owner of the San Francisco 49ers. Edward DeBartolo Jr. was convicted for his role in a gambling fraud scandal. Now, he didn't serve any jail time, and he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2016. The president also pardoning the former New York Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik. He pled guilty in 2009 to charges of felony tax fraud and lying to the government. A federal judge is refusing to delay sentencing for Roger Stone. Defense lawyers had sought to push it back pending a decision on their request for a new trial, but instead, the longtime associate of President Trump will learn his fate on Thursday. That's as scheduled. Stone was found guilty of lying to Congress and witness tampering. He was originally facing a sentence of 7 to 9 years. The entire prosecution team resigned after Attorney General William Barr reversed that decision. Wearable technology could be the latest tool to keep people safe at work. The National Safety Council just came out with its Work to Zero research report today. Now, in it, it mentions employers could protect employees with the use of wearable panic buttons. They would alert a safety center if a worker's in a dangerous or life-threatening situation. The hospitality industry already equips hotel staff with panic buttons to help prevent violence and sexual assaults in hotel rooms. The National Safety Council says more industries can benefit from these devices, like healthcare, where workers interact with people all day, or employees who are sent out by themselves. Wearable panic buttons could also help in situations where someone's experiencing a medical emergency.
All of those new technologies that can be part of the equipment that we issue to workers can help send signals about the conditions that they're in, one, and two, whether or not their body is in a condition where it hasn't moved for a while or it's laying on the ground.
Some technology can sense chemicals and light, breathing, and a heartbeat. The NSC says it's up to employers to look into the hazards that workers face and see how technology can help in these situations. All right, let's get to our lineup here on the Now. We think about walks or fundraising events to honor those who have battled cancer, but now donating blood could be a way you likely haven't thought of to accomplish that same goal.
Call Keller & Keller right now.
It's a monumental year for Indiana Black Expo. The organization is marking 50 years, and they are making plans for celebrations all year long. So today, IBA announced a series of events, including part of the lineup for its flagship event, the summer celebration in July. But IBE President and CEO Tanya McKenzie also took time to reflect on the impact of IBE. She said over the past 50 years, it has evolved into a statewide organization that serves and touches 400,000 people each year.
We have helped shape and advance African American culture, heritage, and tradition while impacting numerous lives through economic, educational, social, and leadership opportunities for youth and families.
The signature event for Indiana Black Expo is the summer celebration, which will run July 9th through the 19th. McKenzie also announced the lineup for the Big Free Outdoor Concert on the American Legion Mall on Friday, July 17th. You will see Keith Sweat, Stephanie Mills, Johnny Gill, and El DeBarge. Black Expo will also hold a 50th anniversary gala as part of summer celebration that will replace the concert that's usually held at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The Fieldhouse will be undergoing renovation work this summer.
The World Health Organization making some alarming predictions about cancer. It says over the next couple of decades, there could be a 60% increase in cases worldwide. Poorer and middle-income countries could be impacted the most. The report also mentioned the cost of treatment. It said if governments invested between $3 and $8 per person in cancer resources over the next decade, some 7 million lives could be saved. But the need goes beyond that.
About 25% of our blood supply goes to treat patients being treated for cancer.
The American Red Cross and American Cancer Society have a new initiative to spread the word about how blood donations help cancer patients. In some cancers, blood transfusions are part of a patient's treatment, and healthy blood supports the body as it recovers from chemotherapy.
They do feel much better and feel much stronger, and then that helps them fight their cancer.
You walk in feeling like really run down, but then you walk out maybe 4 hours later, but you walk out and you feel like a new person, like you can actually get up and move and do things again.
Stephanie Perry is a Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer survivor. She relied on regular transfusions, and she was lucky because she was a universal blood receiver, but many other cancer patients that she encountered through her journey are not.
The man across from me was waiting on blood, and the man next to me was waiting on platelets. And they were waiting for hours, and they kept asking the nurse, where is this coming from? Why can't it be available right now?
The campaign is called Give Blood to Give Time. The hope is that donating blood becomes a meaningful way to honor a loved one who has battled cancer. All right, ahead in our lineup here on the Now, there's new hope for a coronavirus vaccine from a company that developed an Ebola vaccine within 3 months. We're going to take you inside that lab.
aboard. RTV6 is working for you.
Let's start the Now news feed. It has not been a smooth start for new flip phones on the market. The Samsung and Motorola folding phones are already breaking and scratching. YouTubers who tested out the models revealed flaws of the phones, and these are phones that can go for around $1,300. Would you pay $13 for a box of cereal? General Mills hopes moves like that will increase sales after some rough years in the cereal market. The company hoping its new products will attract more health-conscious people who may have cut cereal from their diet. Well, another step towards space tourism. SpaceX has signed a plan to fly 4 space tourists around the Earth in about 2 years. The deal's with the company Space Adventures, which has used Russian aircraft to take private citizens to space. With the spread of the coronavirus continuing in China, its potential wider spread to the rest of the world, and several companies are racing to try and create a vaccine for it. Maya Rodriguez takes us into one lab where scientists think they may have found one.
Under the fluorescent lights inside these labs, researchers believe they may have cracked the code to create a vaccine for the coronavirus.
You know, it's rapidly evolving.
Dr. Gregory Glenn is the president of research and development at the Maryland-based company Novavax, one of several around the world racing to develop a coronavirus vaccine.
So we have to puzzle solve in vaccines. We think about what do we want to have the immune response target, because that should block the infection or stop the illness, and that's the goal here.
He showed us a 3-dimensional depiction of what the virus looks like.
Coronavirus, corona being crown, has spikes. Those spikes have a very important function. They let the virus bind to a human cell, and then the spike acts like a syringe to inject the genetic material into the human cell.
A vaccine would potentially stop that process, thereby protecting a person from the coronavirus.
We have the vaccine. We're going to move it into animal testing shortly. Our goal is in late spring to be testing humans.
It normally takes about 18 months to get human trials started on a vaccine. This shorter time frame is nothing new to this company. They developed an Ebola vaccine within 90 days, ready for testing. But there's a catch.
It can take years for a vaccine to get approved, but under dire circumstances, sometimes they can be used through something called expanded access or compassionate use, meaning the vaccine can be used in humans before it's fully licensed.
That happened with Ebola. You know, they didn't have a licensed vaccine, but they were able to use it under compassionate use. They developed evidence that it was working.
As for a fully approved coronavirus vaccine, experts say that would take longer.
A vaccine in a year would be record-setting time, but not in time to probably have much impact for this disease outbreak.
But if the coronavirus sticks around or comes back stronger in a second wave of the disease, Dr. Glenn says they want to be ready.
Time is of the essence here.
In Montgomery County, Maryland, I'm Maya Rodriguez reporting.
Remember the TV jingle, "There's more than corn in Indiana"? Well, that was part of the commercial for Indiana Beach in Monticello. Well, we learned today that the California-based company that owns Indiana Beach Boardwalk Resort on Lake Schaefer is closing the White County attraction. We are working to get more info on this development. Look for updates on the IndyChannel.com.
Dad has been an Indiana staple. What, 1926, I think, is when that opened? Lake Schaefer. All right, let's talk about what's happening right now. Lots of cloud cover giving way eventually to clearing skies tonight and sunshine for tomorrow. Our dry stretch is underway. That cold front that opened the door to the colder temperatures and sparked the rain in the last 24 hours is now well southeast of Indiana. Next chance for rain, and actually might be a little snow at the beginning, would be Saturday night, and then rain on Sunday as warmer temperatures show up. As you can see, the gray of the cloud cover blanketing Indiana. You get into Chicago, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, skies are clearing. That's leading to sunshine there just before sunset time. 37 in Indianapolis, while it's 41 in both Bloomington and Bedford. Temperatures during the day tomorrow will be about the same, but the major difference will be all of the sunshine. Falling temperatures this evening will be below freezing by the time we get together for the late news. Skies will become partly cloudy, maybe even mostly clear in the western portion of the state by the time we get to 10 or 11. Enjoy the new sunshine or new look to the day tomorrow. 32 at noon. The north wind will make it feel quite cool. Temperatures no warmer than about 36 or 37 through the afternoon hours. Thursday temperature starts at 23. We'll have more clouds in the morning Thursday, then more sunshine in the afternoon. But Thursday will be our coldest day of the week as far as high temperatures. We will struggle to hit 30 degrees and in most cases fall short of that goal. Your 4-day forecast unveiled shortly.
The average person generates 4.5 pounds of waste every day, according to the EPA. Much of that comes from everyday products that we use at home. Now, with more people caring about recycling, reusable, and reducing waste, companies are taking this seriously.
What if when you purchased your shampoo or your ice cream, you didn't have to buy the package, which ultimately becomes trash that you as a consumer are responsible for disposing of?
Now, we introduced you to the Loop concept a year ago. It's sort of like a modern-day milkman, getting everyday products that you normally buy, like detergent, ice cream, and pet food, but in reusable containers made of aluminum, stainless steel, and glass that you return. The containers are washed and reused. Loop launched a pilot last May in 10 states using shipping to deliver and return containers. Now, they say consumers liked the idea, but they wanted more options and to be able to shop for them in stores.
Loop is now working with several global retailers to launch essentially a Loop aisle in physical retail stores and also to place collection bins at the store locations where consumers can essentially drop their used empties on their way in the door and then grab a new full Loop product off the shelf.
Loop hasn't announced which stores yet, but they do already work with Walgreens and Kroger. Loop has plans to add more than 300 brands of products this year. They're also working on reusable container models for everything from fast food to airlines and hotels. Plant-based milk sales are booming as Americans drop dairy from their diets, and Kai Beach is looking into what's next for the dairy industry.
Milk does a body. Milk does a body good.
For years, milk was marketed as a drink that does a body good.
Makes you big, makes you strong.
It's even a foundation of the food pyramid. But after decades of declining sales, the American milk industry has turned somewhat sour. At Lieber's Locavore grocery store, the coffee bar is seeing more customers choosing options other than traditional cow milk.
That's an oat milk latte. We go through about a case of alternative milks a day, maybe just a gallon of whole milk or the non-fat, but mostly oats and almonds and coconuts and soy.
According to Nielsen, almond milk is now America's favorite milk substitute. Sales have jumped 250% over the past 5 years. During that same period, the total milk market shrank by more than $1 billion. That economic impact can be felt across the country. Two of America's biggest milk processing plants, Borden Dairy and Dean Foods, recently filed for bankruptcy.
Amongst the challenges right now, we're experiencing raw milk inflationary, which prices, which puts a little bit of pressure on processors like Borden Dairy.
Tony Sarsam is the CEO of Borden Dairy. Despite the bankruptcy filing, he still has an optimistic outlook for the American dairy industry.
We've adopted the mantra of a glass half full, but at the margin, consumers are saying they want variety. They're looking for new ways to consume all products. They want convenience, they want healthy products, and they want products that allow them to indulge.
There, the distinction is those plants were making bottled milk, which is the product that tends to be going down.
Dan Sumner is a PhD and an agricultural economist at the University of California, Davis. He took us on a tour of the university's dairy science program, saying while America's consumption of cow milk is decreasing, the dairy industry overall isn't in trouble.
Less Americans are drinking milk. Thousands of dairy farms have shut down over the past few decades, but you're saying that the American dairy industry as a whole is actually increasing.
That's right. Milk production is going up. Dairying is a tough business, but there are people successful at it, and I think the long-term future is really healthy.
I'm Kai Beach reporting.
Kai, thank you. And in the last 24 hours, Dairy Farmers of America revealed a plan to buy Dean Foods for $425 million. The bankruptcy court and Department of Justice would still have to approve that deal. Now, next in our lineup, you know about outlet stores that you can visit in person, but you may not realize it's a growing online trend as well. What you need to watch for with these deals to make sure you're actually saving money.